I'm traveling through Central America on a bicycle, and right now I'm dragging my fully loaded mountain bike up a loose, rocky track in El Salvador. It's brutally hot and so steep that even walking up is a struggle. When you watch bikepacking videos, you usually get the highlights, the epic views, the perfect campsites, and the big descents. But what you don't always see is the actual price you pay to get there. Today, I want to show you what a normal day on this trip actually looks like, from the daily routines that make it possible to the sweat and slog it takes to reach the good bits. So, let's hit rewind and take it from the top. Hey guys, and welcome to El Salvador. In this video, I'm going to run you through a day in my life on the road bikepacking through Central America. So I have no idea what today's going to bring. I know it's going to be a very tough day, but other than that, I have no idea. So this morning, waking up in a hostel was nice and easy because I didn't have to worry about packing up my tent. So it was pretty quick just to pack my bike. And today, I'm going to be making my way over to another volcano, Volcan Santa Ana, and then camp at the base, and then make my way up and climb the volcano either for the sunset tonight if I make it there in time, or for the sunrise tomorrow if I do not. So we'll see how that goes. So the first thing I do basically every morning is I look at my map and I check the route ahead. I check roughly where I plan on finishing the day. So today I do have a specific destination in mind, a specific campsite. Normally I wild camp, so normally I just have a rough idea of where I'm going to finish, and then I look for a camp spot in that rough area. But today I do have a specific target, so I know pretty much what my mileage is going to be and what my elevation is going to be for the day as well. The really important thing in terms of planning is I'm always going to be looking at the resupply points. So when I get up in the morning, when I leave a hub, a town, a settlement, anything like that, I always want to make sure I know where the next resupply point is. So that's pretty much it. I have made my way out of town and I've now made my way onto the dirt, and I think I should be on dirt roads pretty much all day today. So let's get on the road and let's see where the day takes us. All right, so the climb has started, and when I'm doing climbs, I basically always check my GPS device and I just see how big the climb is. On some level, I think it's helpful to just know how long it is. So yeah, this is the start of what's going to be the next basically 2-3 hours worth probably of slogging uphill. So I think it's time for breakfast. I do normally wait a couple of hours before I have breakfast. I just find I don't need any energy in the morning. I find I'm just good. But today I've got a slightly different breakfast to normal. Normally my breakfast is oatmeal, which I just have cold. I don't usually bother cooking it. I just have, instant oatmeal with nuts, seeds, raisins, whatever I can find to throw in there, and that's generally my go-to breakfast on the road. But today I actually have an excess of these energy or like cereal bars, granola bars, which I bought for hiking Acatenango volcano a few days ago, and I still have these, so they need eating up. So that's going to be my breakfast. It's going to be a bunch of these granola bars. So that's breakfast. All right, so I have had my fill of breakfast, and now I'm ready to get stuck into the next hiker bike. And I'm just having a look at my GPS, and it looks like it's the next 228 meters of climbing at an average grade of 10%, which is going to be not the worst, but not exactly easy when it's a rough, steep hiker bike. So we'll see how that goes. This is probably a good opportunity to thank the sponsor for this video, which is Coros. Now, I've been using the Coros Dura as my go-to bike computer for nearly the last year or so. The battery life on these is absolutely crazy, so you get about 120 hours of battery life on just one charge. Something I've always thought has been incredibly stupid about all of the other major
bike computers on the market is that they will not allow you to send a new GPX route from your phone onto the bike computer unless you have internet. But if you're doing any kind of bike packing, or if you're riding anywhere remotely remote, you're not going to have any internet. And so if you then decide to want to change your route whilst you're actually out there, it's not going to let you do that. But with the Dura, there's no problem. You can make a route on your phone super easily and just send it straight to the Dura, even if you've got an activity in progress. And even if you've got no internet, it loads up super fast, and then you've got it. So I highly recommend the Coros Dura. The price is really good on them. They work really well. And yeah, look no further. These are fantastic. Okay, so onwards and upwards. So far it's rideable, but I'm sure the hiker bike will start soon. So that is my road. And yeah, I mean, video never does justice to these things, but that is very steep and very rocky. And there is no way in hell that I'm going to be riding up that. This climb in this heat is absolutely bloody brutal. So happily, I think that is the end of the hiker bike, and I've made it back to a slightly bigger road. This is also a good opportunity to do something which these days I do have to do because I'm not 20 anymore, and that is to stretch. Very important these days. All right, back in the saddle, pedaling again. Just a little bit more of a bump to get over, and then I should be in the town where I can get something to eat. The really nice thing about hiker bike is it makes you really appreciate when you're actually riding your bike. Okay, so I've made it into this town, and it's quite a lot bigger and busier than I thought. I seem to have popped out back into a pretty bustling place. And it's nearly 12 o'clock, so I think this is a good time to go and find myself a little Commodore, a little place to get some food. I also need to stock up on water and find a shop to get some dinner for tonight and breakfast for tomorrow. Part one of the day is done, so that is good. I'm looking forward to something to eat. Hola. ¿Tiene pasta? Uno está bien. Y también tiene avena. Avena. Sí. Gracias. And that is all I need. I've just looked at the map and I know that I can get some more food by tomorrow lunch, so that is going to cover me. I also still have plenty of trail mix left, so that's all the food I need. That's me sorted. I am going to have to get more water, but I'm probably going to do that at the restaurant. So I have found a restaurant and it's okay. It seems a little bit expensive, but everywhere is closed. It's a Monday today, and I guess Mondays are the restaurant's closed day, so there weren't too many options, but I managed to find somewhere that is open. So I'm gonna get myself some burritos, and yeah, then we're gonna get back on the road, and yeah, second half of the day should be a lot easier. Solo dos manzanas, por favor. Right. Just to make sure I'm fully hydrated, because it's gonna be steaming hot out there. Got myself a nice coconut. Electrolytes. Here we go, second half of the day. Another 2 hours probably of climbing, I think, and then we should have made it to camp. So I'm all set. I have plenty of food and water to get me to the next resupply point. It's pretty here. It's already roasting hot. I think it's got to be pushing 30 degrees Celsius now, and in the sun I'm going to be sweating for sure, but that's all good. It should hopefully all be rideable from here. Oh, I thought I was done with the hiker bike, but this is absolutely brutal. It's just straight up and super slippery. My shoulders are getting a workout today. This is great. Okay, so this is the campsite that I have been aiming for. And yeah, as you can see, the gate is locked. I had heard that they do lock this at 3, and it is now, what is it, 3:40. But it looks like I can probably wheel my bike around on the side there. I don't think there'll be a problem if I go camp inside. Well, this seems like definitely the spot. Very, very beautiful here, very peaceful, and everything is locked up. There's no one here. So I guess I can just put up my tent. There is a dog here and he seems very, very chill, very shy, but very chill. He's not barking, which is nice. So I think I'm gonna have a good night's sleep here. Very peaceful. And yeah, it's getting cold already. It's already now 4:45 and it's getting a little bit chilly. But there is water here. The toilets are locked, but that's not a problem. There is running water, which I've just filtered. And the fact that there's water means that I can use some water to clean myself. Normally, I would just use wet wipes. So I do carry wet wipes with me. But I can save the wet wipes and just use water, which is great because I am very, very dusty, very dirty, especially my legs. So yeah, I'm gonna get myself cleaned up, give myself a bit of a wash, and then it's gonna be time to put my tent up. So my sort of routine, I guess, for camping is exactly the same every night. Everything goes in the exact right location. I know where everything is. So generally I get camp set up pretty fast. It's gonna be a nice evening. It's so beautiful here. All right, so the cooking system is dead easy. I've got some water in my pot, and this pot just sits on the cone, so that operates as both a windscreen and a stand. This is the burner, so that is just an alcohol stove. Don't need a lot right now. So there's some alcohol in there. And then very, very easy, just take a lighter, and that is now on fire, and that can just go on top. So yeah, very, very simple. And yeah, I've got some tomato ranchera sauce to go on top today. It's a glamorous life out here, what can I say? Okay, so this is now boiling. So it's ready for the pasta to go in. And the way that I cook my food is I use a pot cosy, which is one of these things. And basically all I need to do is get the spaghetti into the pot and then get the water back to the boil. And then I'm going to put all of this food into the pot cosy. This is just a homemade pot cosy made out of basically loft insulation material, super cheap and easy. You can get this in virtually any hardware store. And yeah, this just keeps all the heat in. So it saves a ton of fuel. I only really need enough fuel to bring the water to the boil, and that's a lot less than it takes to keep it boiling or simmering for another sort of 10-15 minutes. So now all I need to do, take that off the heat, blow out the fire, put that into my cozy. That is the lid there. Put the lid on the burner, and that's basically it. So now I just need to wait for 15-20 minutes or so for that to cook. It takes a little bit longer than it does without using the cozy, but not much longer. And I don't have to keep stirring it, I don't have to keep watching it. It's gonna cook sitting in there, which is amazing. And so while that's all happening, I can pack everything else up. That is, as I say, the main bulk of the stove. The fuel bottle and the little measuring cup just go inside. That's that. That is the burner, which has still got some alcohol in there, and I can just seal that up. That's all done. The base plate just folds away. Yeah, now it's just a waiting game for my food to cook. Oh. Well, it's not the most exciting feed in the world, but after cycling up hills all day, or pushing your bike up hills all day, anything tastes good. And right now this tastes absolutely amazing. Okay, so dinner has been eaten. Dinner was delicious. And yeah, now I'm just gonna go in my tent and probably just read for a little bit and then go to bed, because I'm gonna be getting up at probably 4 a.m. to hike up for the sunrise tomorrow. I think 4 a.m. is probably about right. Yeah, so anyway, that's the end of my day. I guess it would have been better for the video if I'd have hiked up the volcano for the sunset. I could have ended the video there. That would have been very dramatic and scenic, but I guess the reality is that most days when you're bikepacking around the world do not end at the top of volcanoes. Most days end with a nice quiet dinner and then going into your tent and just chilling out and going to bed. So that's today. But anyway, that's been my day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a fun day for me. It's been a nice challenging one, but this is pretty typical. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Please do the whole like, comment, subscribe thing. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, I will see if I can add some sunrise volcano footage to the end of this video so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.